nitakuwa nikichanganya lugha, nitaongea Kiingereza kwa sababu hizi vitu zimeandikwa na lugha ya Kiingereza, lakini kama kuna haja pia nitaguzia Kiswahili kwa sababu mimi ni Mkenya. Hata kama sijajua Kiswahili vizuri, nitapambana na Kiswahili. Ndio. Mwaka uliopita tulikuwa hapa na niliwaahidi haitakuwa tu one off thing. Nilisema bado nitarudi. Kama Mungu atanipea nafasi niendelee kwa hii ofisi ya Cabinet Secretary National Treasury, nitakuwa kila mwaka ninashirikana na nyinyi, tunazungumzia bajeti ili ile propaganda yote inasemekana tunaweza kumalizia hapa. Tunaweza kuelewana. Juu ninajua nyinyi kuna pengine there are places that you have not understood well. Ni kazi yangu ama ni my responsibility kuhakikisha mmeelewa finance bill na mmeelewa budget. Let me start by first pointing out that this engagement that we have here today is actually a constitutional responsibility. It is not benevolence. Si kitu ya kuitisha. It is supposed to be done automatically. Hiyo ndiyo sababu nimechukua hiyo jukumu kukuja hapa kila mwaka. Nilikuja mwaka uliopita, nimekuja mwaka huu, na Mungu akutupatie nafasi, bado next year nitarudi. We actually published the bill. I know Treasury published the bill. But before National Assembly publishes the bill, it is never official. So the official document, it became official document wakati National Assembly published the bill. Sasa ni wakati ya public participation. Ili wananchi watoe maoni, wanaonaje. Na niko na furaha kwa sababu nimeona wengi wenu wamesoma hii bill. Ni sababu gani nimejua hivyo? Nikiona mazungumzo ile inaendelea, there are a lot of things that are in the bill that you are talking about. And that tells me clearly that you have actually read the bill. Many of us have read the bill. Yes, I know kuna watu wengine wanaeneza propaganda. Na hiyo wanafanya kwa sababu ya siasa. Na hiyo tunajua lazima wapige siasa. Juu ni politicians, ndio. But we have also to separate myths from facts. To separate fiction from facts. So nimekuja hapa so that we can engage. Ndiye tujue ukweli iko wapi. What is it that is in this bill of 2026? Something that I've noticed is that there are people who are saying the bill is bad, but what they are saying is what should have been in the bill, not what is not in what is in the bill and is bad. So kuna tofauti hapo. Kuna what is in the bill we need to discuss, and what should be in the bill. Ni vitu gani tunapendekeza zikuwe kwa bill. Hiyo kuna tofauti hapo. Kwa hivyo huwezi sema bill ni mbaya kwa sababu imewacha nje vitu zingine ulikuwa unataka zikuwe ndani. Unatoa tu mapendekezo ili kama tuko na nafasi hapo tuweke hizo mapendekezo zako pia kwa final product ile itapitishwa na bunge. Na niko na furaha mwenzangu wako hapa, Mheshimiwa Esther Passaris ambaye ni mmoja kwa wabunge wa Kenya. So yeye pia atakuwa anasikiza apeleke amendment huko bunge. Mimi pia niko na nafasi, bado ninaweza kupendekeza amendment kwa bunge. So let us engage, let us talk today. I want to hear from you. If you have read this bill, what are the issues that you have with it? Because the mistake that we make, especially leaders, si wananchi, ni leaders na wale wana insights, ndiye wanakuja na propaganda na porojo kwa hii bill. Wanasema reject. Na ukisikiza vile wanasema, unawauliza, you reject why? Because kama kitu ni mbaya, sema ni mbaya hivi na hivi na hivi. Finance bill has been with us from 1963 and even before. Even the colonial governments walikuwa na njia ya kusanya ushuru. Ama namna gani? Ama serikali ya Kenyatta ndivyo hivyo. Finance bill ilikuwa. Serikali ya Moi, finance bill zilikuwa. Serikali ya Kibaki, finance bill ilikuwa. Serikali ya Uhuru ni hivyo hivyo. Serikali ya Ruto pia has to have finance bill because we have to collect taxes to deliver services to our people. Watu wetu wanataka elimu, si ndio? We want our children to be paid school fees through capitation. We want to employ teachers. We must provide money to SHA in terms of what we call primary health care. We must provide money to treat those of us who have cancer, diabetes, and such like. We have to have money to do our roads. We must have money to pay our police, pay KDF to protect our country. We must have money for all the other things, including cash transfer to the elderly. Wale wamekuwa wazee na hawawezi kufanya kazi na kupata pesa kwa nguvu yao. Lazima tuwasaidie. Hii yote inahitaji ushuru. The only thing we must do is that tax should not be too high mpaka wale wanafanya kazi ni kama wanafanyia serikali kazi. Lazima pia ubaki na pesa kwa mfuko ile utatumia kununua bidhaa. Let me finish. Number one, this bill has good provisions in it. Many. One of them is there are people who have actually, as we speak, accumulated a lot of taxes they have not been paying for one reason or the other. Uchumi ni ngumu, si ndio? So because of that, we have decided that all the interest and penalties that have been levied on these people who have been struggling, tutoe hizo walipe only principal mpaka December, what we call tax amnesty. That is a good provision in the bill, and that is something that needs to be supported. Some of us here, our parents, we have lost our parents who are earning pension. Those are our parents, when they die, then we take over. The government is supposed to pay the children as beneficiaries, or the wife as beneficiary for a period of time, or the husband. That pension is now being taxed. We are saying that pension should also not be taxed, so that wale ambao wameretire, there is nafuu, wanapata nafuu ukiwa umebaki kama beneficiary. So those are some of the things that we need to talk about, the positives in the bill. But if there is anything negative, we talk about. And I have noticed a number of things that are not in the finance bill of 2026 are being imported to the finance bill and being said that they are in the finance bill, so reject. They are not there. And if I will listen to your question, and you will realize that 90% of the questions that will come from you will be all propaganda, things that are not in the bill. And that is why I think this engagement is good. It is not just in vain. Anything that you speak here, something that we can still correct, will correct. I can see Nimrod wants me to end. But let us also remove all the propaganda. Why? Because you will incite our people. Our people will go to the streets because of incitement, things that are not in the bill. Then waanze kupora mali hapa, because wahalifu wako wengi kati yetu. Wataanza kuvunja maduka, wataanza kupiga magari, alafu police pia with no restraints wataanza kufire people. Na watu watakufa. Wakisha kufa kwa sababu ya propaganda, you will not get them back. Their parents will be crying forever. The people who are depending on them watabaki mayatima kama ni watoto. Wewe uko na watoto wako, utaendelea na maisha yako. You are living in Lavington, you are living in Karen, you are living in Runda. Someone has lost his father who was bringing the little that he could eat. That person will go to the streets because he has nowhere to live, because of propaganda. Kama wanaweza enda street because of ukweli, hiyo ni sawa. Lakini kama ni propaganda, it would be very unfair. And such leaders should be called out. We tell them, any leader worth his salt, if he feels, and that is what Raila Odinga used to do when he was leading the opposition, he would ask people like Mbadi, finance bill is out, can you look at it? Tell me what is wrong with it. And then we would do analysis even over the weekend. We give Baba. Then he looks at it, and he was very sharp, being an engineer, understands very quickly, goes to Kenyans, calls a press conference and address them and tell them this bill is bad because of 1, 2, 3. Lakini leo tunaoma na viongozi wa upinzani, Nimrod, wananishangaza sana. Mtu anatoka anasema reject the bill. Ukimuuliza tuna reject kwa nani, shida iko wapi, ni wapi turekebishe, hawezi kukuambia. So those are irresponsible opposition leaders. And as I conclude, there is something that one of the senior opposition leaders, and I am very deliberate in picking out this, because this is not just any other opposition leader. This is one of the leading lights in the opposition in this country, who has been a vice president, who has been a minister for so many years, a member of parliament, alisema that kwa hii bill we are planning to introduce levies on leasehold and freehold. Ati sasa ukiwachiwa shamba na babu yako. That is what he said. I don't think I'm misquoting him. Ati sasa itatoshwa ushuru. Ninamuuliza iko wapi kwa hii bili yangu nilipeleka bunge? Sina kitu kama hiyo kwa bili yangu. Hiyo ni bili yako umetengeneza sijui wapi, ama kama umetengeneza na Wamunyoro mimi sijui. Lakini wacha tuongee ukweli. Kama ukweli isemwe hapa. Kama kuna kasoro iletwe hapa. Na nitadeal na hiyo. Na nitapendekeza marekebisho kule bunge.
Waziri, asante sana. Najua muda kitu tunayoyoma na wageni wetu hapa wengi wataka kuuliza maswali. Lakini ningependa baadaye ujibu swali alilouliza Ben kuhusiana na budgeted corruption mara nyingi inayojipendeza. Utajibu baadaye. Halafu pia uweze kuzungumzia alivyozungumzia kwamba si halali kuwa na hazina ya maeneo bunge kwa sasa hivi. Hilo ni swala ambalo tutataka ulizungumzie, na pia uzungumzie tatizo ambalo wengi wanaouza simu kwa sasa hivi wana wasiwasi kuhusiana na ushuru ambao unatozwa ama umeongezwa au umepunguzwa. Uweze kufafanua kwa kifupi sana. Nimuite Brenda, halafu baadaye nitamuita kiongozi wetu kwa kipindi cha pili kuwaita viongozi wengine. Brenda, njoo usimame hapa tafadhali. Uwe mwepesi kwa dakika moja tu kuweza kuzungumza na kuuliza swali lako, halafu waziri aweze kujibu, tuende mapumzikoni, halafu kipindi cha pili ni muache speaker aweze kutuongoza. Endelea Brenda.
Siwaski, bunge la mwananchi. Comrade Power. Na shukuru kwa kipindi hii. I have only 4 questions. I want to be very brief. I'll be very brief. The first one to our Honorable CS is how will digital taxes affect youth jobs and online work? Number 2, how has impact on M-Pesa users and financial inclusion been assessed? Number 3, how will crypto regulation protect privacy and innovation? And number 4, sorry. Number 2 is how has impact on M-Pesa users and financial inclusion been assessed? Then number 3, how will crypto regulation protect privacy and innovation? I repeat, how will crypto regulation protect privacy and innovation? And then number 4, how will Kenya balance digital taxation with tech growth and competitiveness? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your guidance.
Nafikiri wacha nimpe waziri nafasi aweze kujibu haya maswali kwa kipindi kilichosalia kabla ya kwenda mapumzikoni, alafu turejee kipindi kingine cha maswali. Wananchi tutulie tu, tutauliza maswali. Bado maswali ni mengi. Tumpatie waziri Mbadi nafasi kidogo aweze kujibu hayo maswali pamoja na yale ambao Ben serikali alikuwa ameuliza hapo awali kuhusiana na budgeted corruption na iwapo hazina ya maeneo bunge kwa sasa hivi ni halali au si halali, na maswali aliyouliza Brenda.
Thank you. So let me start. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The first question by Brenda was how will digital taxes affect youth? If you look at this bill, there are no changes or adjustments in digital taxes. What we have recommended is the recognition of virtual assets, the crypto. The virtual assets is a new area. You remember, Kenya has just enacted a law recently, I think a few months ago, on virtual taxes, on virtual assets. And a lot of business is going to take place there. Now, in the spirit of fairness and equity, you cannot have a class of business attracting taxes, yet another class of business is not. Since it is an emerging class of business, which is attracting so many people, we are saying they should also be brought to the tax bracket like any other. Because look, every Kenyan, whether you are selling nyanya, kitungu, nini, unalipa tax. If you are also in that virtual assets, and they are making good money, and we are not saying you are taxed if you are not making money. We are only taxing those who are making money. So that is what we have proposed. In terms of impact on M-Pesa, I want to be very clear. We are not introducing any other extra charges that is going to affect money transfer through M-Pesa. We have sat with Safaricom last Friday, We have discussed this, and they have understood very clearly that the platform that we are targeting are these card providers, these people who provide the platform for doing business. For example, I have a Visa card in my pocket. I use that Visa card. That Visa card, banks pay for it. The bank that gives me the Visa card. It is a cooperative bank Visa card that I have. Cooperative bank pays the owner of that Visa card, the person who has provided that service, that platform. That person, and most of them are not even Kenyans, that person pays no tax to Kenya government. And that is what we say is not fair. If a Kenyan here would be paying taxes, and those who are benefiting from the business in Kenya and supplying this card don't pay tax. So, yes, there is a concern with the banks that they have already signed some contracts and they have locked the contract that there should be no tax. We told them that is procedural, that is administrative. We will deal with that between us and the banks to ensure that no one hurts and that the same is not passed to consumers. But the principle must be maintained that everyone making money in Kenya or from Kenya should pay tax. That is why we have also included, Nimrod, this should go out very clearly. We have also included those non-Kenyans, non-citizens who have property in this country. And when they sell their property to a Kenyan, there is capital gains tax. But when they sell their property to another person who is not a Kenyan, yet the property is here in Kenya, they don't pay tax. We say that is wrong. If you are selling your property, you are a non-Kenyan, and you are selling your property to another non-Kenyan, and you are gaining, you should pay as tax. The same way, when a Kenyan is selling property to another Kenyan, and he has made capital gain, he pays tax. So that is fairness, that is equity. There are so many people who have been using this country like a tax haven, and that is what we are trying to stop. Let us not use this country as a tax haven. How will crypto regulation affect privacy? I don't think there is any way that will affect privacy. What we want is a financial information. Because if you are in that space of cryptocurrency, you are making money. And it is now very popular. Now you go there to make money. Once you make money, we want you to declare the money you have made. Just like any other person selling mitumba is declaring. Like any other person selling fish is declaring, I have made this money. This part of it I have to give as tax. Why should people who are on cryptocurrency not do the same? That is not fairness. And one of the principles of taxation, and by the way, I did taxation very, very well. I understand taxation very well. The basic principle of taxation is fairness, equity, and then you come to simplicity. Finally, balancing digital taxation with growth and competitiveness. We have been very careful in ensuring that we don't overtax the digital space. That is why you remember there were a lot of proposals that were made in 2023 and 2024 finance bills, and Kenyans resisted. Kenyans went to the streets. We don't want to repeat the same mistake. We are trying to protect the digital space so that we remain competitive as a country. We are only, the taxes that are there, we are not even changing and varying them so that we balance competitiveness. Kenya remains a competitive destination. Kenya is the business hub of this region. We don't want to lower our competitiveness. I hope nimejibu maswali lako.
Waziri, kuna swali kuhusiana na budget.
So wacha sasa nijibu hizi maswali mawili. The first question was why don't we budget for corruption and tax them? The danger with that is ukizoesha watu ati una budget corruption, ukibudget 30% wataongeza another 30%. So before you know it, 100% will be corruption. So the best thing is not to budget for corruption. The best thing is to look for ways of how to deal with corruption. Remove it. How do you remove it? The one area that all Kenyans agree inaleta corruption kwa nchi ni sehemu inaitwa procurement. Procurement is where corruption reside. Because if you don't know someone who knows someone in government, huwezi pata kandarasi Kenya hii. Hiyo ni ukweli. Na hiyo ni sababu nilileta hii kitu inaitwa e-procurement. E-procurement has been resisted. But I will tell you, fortunately, now the government departments are accepting it. Because tumeweka we have insisted that it must be implemented. 1st July, we have communicated to all government ministries. There will be no now excuse. You must go to e-procurement so that when tender is advertised, kila mtu anaona. Hata ukiwa even if you are in the US, you can still submit your bids and tenders. And when it is being evaluated, everybody is seeing why company X is losing to Y. So that we don't have a situation where mtu anaenda anatoa makaratasi kwa documents zako, before you know it you have lost. You are being told huku you did not attach PIN certificate, siju you did not attach what. We are saying those things will be seen in the system. So e-procurement is one of them. The other one is what we call treasury single account. The government has been in a situation where we don't even know how much we have in the bank accounts. Today we have consolidated and integrated our systems and have insisted on treasury single account. At the click of the button at the treasury, I can tell you how much liquidity Kenya has. In all the banks, we now have that information. And that has helped us a lot to even discover that there was cases where people were paying even one invoice 3 times. That is now not going to. It's not happening now. Lastly, zero-based budgeting. Haijashika vizuri, but in the next budget, I am sure we will now have improved so that we do zero-based budget, where every money that you are asking from the treasury, you must justify. We have been having budgeting where, because I'm given 20 billion this year, now add me 5 billion, it is incremental. We are saying, no, start from the beginning, start afresh. And that is what we are going to do in the next budget. This budget, ni kama tumeanza, it is still struggling. I want to stop there and now deal with the NGCDF. Kidogo tu. Can I touch on NGCDF? You know, there is still a law in place. This law was challenged. Mpaka